Hi everyone, this is Dr. Stephanie Kamaya Reznick. I'm a board-certified internist and one of the doctors on call available through Oscar. In today's segment on COVID-19, also known as the novel coronavirus, I'm going to be discussing some tips that might be helpful during the summer. Summer might bring a return to daycare, summer camp, or more frequent play dates. More exposures to people outside the household means more potential exposures to COVID-19. But there are many things you can do to decrease the risk of you or your child catching the virus. First, I want to remind you that children might have few or no symptoms at all, but still be able to pass on the virus. This is important to remember before visiting those who might be at high risk for complications if they were to catch the virus, like perhaps the child's grandparents. Also keep in mind that some children are also at increased risk of complications if they were to catch COVID-19. If your child has medical conditions or you have any concerns, please consider talking to your pediatrician. Alternatives to in-person activities during the summer can include virtual classes and virtual play dates. In general, the tips to help keep your children safe are the same ones that are applied to adults as well. Hand washing is really important. Teaching your kids to sing the ABCs, count slowly to 20, or to sing the happy birthday song while washing their hands with soap and water can help encourage them to wash their hands for at least 20 seconds. Using hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol can also be helpful, but it's best reserved for older children who won't immediately put their hands in their mouths. Masks are also important, but they must be taken on and off appropriately. The CDC has a lot of good resources for this, but I'll briefly review here. When putting on a mask, make sure to wash your hands first for 20 seconds. You want the mask to cover your nose and your mouth and to sit underneath your chin, about here. And then you also want it to fit snugly on the sides of your face. Of course, you also want to be able to breathe. Children under 2 years old or those who have difficulty breathing while wearing a mask or unable to take off a mask quickly if need be should not be wearing a mask. When taking off the mask, make sure to touch it only by either the ear loops or the ties from behind the head. Immediately put the mask in the washing area or washing machine and wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap and water. Do not touch your face or eyes before washing your hands. When washing the mask, you can use your regular washing machine and detergent and even wash the mask with your other laundry. Just use the highest possible water temperature setting. If hand washing the mask, make a solution of 4 tablespoons of bleach mixed with 4 cups, that's 1 quart, of room temperature water. The mask should soak for 5 minutes and then be rinsed with cool or room temperature water. In addition to masks, social distancing can be very important and decrease your risk of catching the virus. Social distancing is often defined as staying at least 6 feet away from others. And of course, that's ideal. But in situations such as camps or playdates, try to keep your children interacting with a consistent group of kids and counselors or teachers or caretakers. This will limit the number of people outside of the household that your child is exposed to, thereby decreasing their chance of catching the virus. You might notice a lot of camps are following this procedure by having smaller groups than in past years and having a consistent counselor for your child. In addition, they may stagger the location or timing of drop-off and pickup in order to decrease the number of people exposed to each other. Make sure to have your child bring their own water bottle and instruct them not to share food, water bottles, or utensils with other children. Camps that are held outside or in well-ventilated areas will be at the lower risk of having the virus spread. I hope you found this information helpful. Have a happy, safe summer. I'll see you next time.